Hi, I'm Dylan Paris. This is Ultra Choice, and today I want to talk about a new gaming service that you've probably heard about. It's called Apple Arcade, and it launches on the 19th of September, which as of today is tomorrow, but by the time you watch this, may have already passed. Now, I've had the opportunity to play a couple different games in Apple Arcade because I'm a beta tester for iPadOS 13, and I've had a really good time with them so far. The primary games I've been playing are Skate City, Oceanhorn 2, and Sayonara Wild Hearts, which is one of the coolest games I've played this year, if not the coolest. Something that's really exciting to me about Apple Arcade, much like Xbox Game Pass, is that you can pay a flat amount, in this case $5 a month, and get access to almost 100 games, and 100 by the end of the year. Now, a lot of these are pretty awesome. Almost all the ones I've tried I've really enjoyed. As someone who jumps between games all the time, the idea of just paying a single flat fee, a subscription fee, and just having a pool of games is really cool to me. I subscribe to Game Pass on PC. I tried out PlayStation Now for a little bit, although I don't feel like the performance and the price are at the right balance, so I canceled that after a month when I beat Metal Gear Solid 4. One of the really neat things about iPadOS 13 is that it brings additional controller support to the iOS platform. So you could use controllers like this. This is a Steel Series Nimbus. It's an MFI or made for iPhone controller. This has worked on iPads and iPhones and Apple TV for a long time. What's new is that this DualShock 4 now also works as a controller for those devices. So if you have a PlayStation 4, you already have a means to control these games, and most of them support controller. Xbox One controllers are a little tricky. You need to have one from the S or X generation. The original Xbox One controller is not Bluetooth enabled. So I've been using a DualShock because my Xbox One controller that I use for PC games is one of the OG ones with an adapter, which I think came with my Oculus Rift back when I had one. So let's talk about these games. Skate City is a lot like a 2D version of Skate, the series that EA seems to have forgotten about, but we never will. That series has a really special place in my heart. At first, Skate City seemed way more simple than the Skate series, but I started to realize as I played more challenges and learned more moves that there are a lot of similarities, and I've really been enjoying my experience with it. I've only unlocked Oslo outside of the starting Los Angeles area. As you can see, it's kind of a 2D version of that skate style gameplay where your analog controllers are kicking either with your front foot or your back foot. The triggers are having you spin, and you can do all this with touch controls as well, which is pretty smooth, but my gameplay here was done with this MFI controller. I also played a spy game that was kind of fun. I can't remember the name of it. I'll put it here in a title and post. This game is interesting. It reminds me of Spy Hunter because you've got like a vehicle that can transform into like a boat, into a car. It's pretty simple. It plays more like a traditional phone or tablet game, which can be cool, but I'm really excited about experiences like Skate City, Oceanhorn 2, which is basically a Zelda clone. With this one, they seem very inspired by Breath of the Wild as far as aesthetics go, but combining that with some of the plasticky, toy-like nature of the Link's Awakening remake that also comes out this week. The gameplay's a little clunky as far as combat goes, but the graphics are amazing for a tablet game, and it is really cool to see a developer aim that high and make an experience that is that console-like on the iPad. So I hope we see more of that with maybe a little bit more originality. I would love to see what the team could do if they weren't so attached to that Zelda inspiration, but I am probably going to beat the game just because it's so convenient to have my iPad with me and have my little MFI controller with me. When the game's with me all the time, I might as well play it on the bus, wherever. So I saved the best game for last, and that's Sayonara Wild Hearts. I'm the kind of person who can get really swept up in the hype, so oftentimes if an experience kind of blows me away, I'm like, this is the coolest thing I've ever played. So I'm trying to tone that down a little bit, but there's a level which I'm gonna show you a little bit of in this game, with this song in it that just took my breath away. The way the gameplay, the music, and the graphics just meld together is one of my favorite things that games can do, and it's probably the coolest thing I've seen in a game this year. So, not to be overly hyperbolic, but right now Sayonara Wild Hearts might be my game of the year. Obviously we're really early in the fall season, so we'll see what comes out, but that one is worth the price of admission for Apple Arcade alone, in my opinion. Apple Arcade's $5, it's free for the first month, at least the version I got, and I'm pretty sure Sayonara is probably more than $5 on every other platform. So even if you just wanted to get the trial just to experience that game, I would highly recommend it. There's going to be 100 games on this service by the end of the year. I think there's at least 50 on there since I last checked. A lot of cool stuff. Writers are talking about different games. There's games I didn't even touch on in this video that I played, like Pinball Wizard and this game about like plants and mutants. All kinds of stuff on the platform. I highly recommend checking it out. I am very jealous I don't have an iPhone because I love the idea of being able to transfer this experience, but I'm on a Note 9 right now that I got refurbished, and it's a great time to buy a Note 9, by the way, but that's not what this video is about. Please feel free to comment below if you have any games in Apple Arcade you want to see me play on the iPad, or if you have any questions about how setting up a controller works, that kind of thing. I'm happy to showcase any game you're interested in seeing, or answer any questions you might have if I can. If you like music stuff, tech stuff, I talk about my iPad a lot. I do a lot of music performances. Feel free to subscribe to the channel for more of that stuff, and if you enjoyed the video, please consider liking it. The YouTube algorithm is one of life's great mysteries, but if you enjoy the content, liking, sharing, subscribing super helps my channel. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.